1 Samuel 27. Then David said in his heart, Now I will be swept away one day by the hand of Saul. There is nothing better for me than that I should utterly escape into the land of the Philistines. Saul then will despair of searching for me any more in all the territory of Israel, and I will escape from his hand. So David arose and crossed over, he and the 600 men who were with him, to Achish, the son of Maok, king of Gath. And David lived with Achish at Gath, he and his men, each with his household, even David with his 2 wives, Ahinoam the Jezreelitess, and Abigail the Carmelitess, Nabal's wife. And it was told to Saul that David had fled to Gath, so he no longer searched for him. Then David said to Achish, If now I have found favor in your sight, let them give me a place in one of the cities in the country, that I may live there. For why should your servant live in the royal city with you? So Achish gave him Ziklag that day. Therefore Ziklag has belonged to the kings of Judah to this day. And the number of days that David lived in the country of the Philistines was 1 year and 4 months. Now David and his men went up and raided the Geshurites and the Girzites and the Amalekites, for they were the inhabitants of the land from ancient times, as you come to Shur, even as far as the land of Egypt. And David struck the land, and did not leave a man or a woman alive. And he took away the sheep, the cattle, the donkeys, the camels, and the clothing. Then he returned and came to Achish. And Achish said, Where have you made a raid today? And David said, Against the Negev of Judah, and against the Negev of the Jerahmeelites, and against the Negev of the Kenites. And David did not leave a man or a woman alive to bring to Gath, saying, Lest they tell about us, saying, So has David done, and so has been his custom all the time he has lived in the country of the Philistines. So Achish believed David, saying, He has surely made himself odious among his people Israel. Therefore he will become my servant forever. 1 Corinthians 8. Now concerning things sacrificed to idols, we know that we all have knowledge. Knowledge puffs up, but love builds up. If anyone thinks that he has known anything, he has not yet known as he ought to know. But if anyone loves God, he has been known by him. Therefore, concerning the eating of things sacrificed to idols, we know that an idol is nothing in the world, and that there is no God but one. For even if there are so-called gods, whether in heaven or on earth, as indeed there are many gods and many lords, yet for us there is one God, the Father, from whom are all things, and we exist for him, and one Lord, Jesus Christ, by whom are all things, and we exist through him. However, not all men have this knowledge, but some, being accustomed to the idol until now, eat food as if it were sacrificed to an idol, and their conscience, being weak, is defiled. But food will not commend us to God. We neither lack if we do not eat, nor abound if we do eat. But see to it that this authority of yours does not somehow become a stumbling block to the weak. For if someone sees you, who have knowledge, dining in an idol's temple, will not his conscience, if he is weak, be built up to eat things sacrificed to idols? For through your knowledge he who is weak is ruined, the brother for whose sake Christ died. And in that way, by sinning against the brothers and wounding their conscience when it is weak, you sin against Christ. Therefore, if food causes my brother to stumble, I will never eat meat again, ever, so that I will not cause my brother to stumble. Ezekiel 6. And the word of Yahweh came to me, saying, Son of man, set your face toward the mountains of Israel, and prophesy against them, and say, Mountains of Israel, hear the word of the Lord Yahweh. Thus says Lord Yahweh to the mountains, the hills, the ravines, and the valleys, Behold, I myself am going to bring a sword on you, and I will destroy your high places. So your altars will become desolate, and your incense altars will be broken, and I will make your slain fall in front of your idols. I will also put the dead bodies of the sons of Israel in front of their idols, and I will scatter your bones all around your altars. In all your places of habitation, cities will become waste, and the high places will be desolate, that your altars may become waste and desolate. Your idols may be broken and cease. Your incense altars may be cut in pieces, and your works may be blotted out. The slain will fall among you, and you will know that I am Yahweh. However, I will leave a remnant, for you will have those who escape the sword among the nations when you are scattered among the lands. Then those of you who escape will remember me among the nations to which they will be carried captive, how I have been broken over their adulterous hearts which turned away from me, and by their eyes which played the harlot after their idols. And they will loathe themselves to their own faces for the evils which they have done, for all their abominations. Then they will know that I am Yahweh. I have not said in vain that I would do this calamitous evil against them. Thus says Lord Yahweh, strike your hands together, stamp your foot, and say, Alas, because of all the evil abominations of the house of Israel, which will fall by the sword, by the famine, and by the plague. He who is far off will die by the plague, and he who is near will fall by the sword, and he who remains and is besieged will die by the famine. Thus will I spend my wrath on them. Then you will know that I am Yahweh, when their slain are among their idols all around their altars, on every high hill, on all the tops of the mountains, under every green tree and under every leafy oak, the places where they offered a soothing aroma to all their idols. So throughout all their habitations I will stretch out my hand against them, and make the land more desolate and desecrated than the wilderness toward Diblah. Thus they will know that I am Yahweh. Psalm 44. For the choir director of the sons of Korah, a maskil. O God, we have heard with our ears, our fathers have recounted to us the work that you did in their days, in the days of old. You with your own hand dispossessed the nations, then you planted them, you afflicted the peoples, then you cast them out. For by their own sword they did not possess the land, and their own arm did not save them. But your right hand and your arm in the light of your presence, for you favored them. You are my king, O God. Command salvation for Jacob. Through you we will push back our adversaries. Through your name we will tread down those who rise up against us. For I will not trust in my bow, and my sword will not save me. But you have saved us from our adversaries, and you have put to shame those who hate us. In God we have boasted all day long, and we will give thanks to your name forever. Selah. Yet you have rejected us and brought us to dishonor, and do not go out with our armies. You cause us to turn back from the adversary, and those who hate us have plundered us for themselves. You give us as sheep to be eaten, and have scattered us among the nations. You sell your people for no amount, and you have not profited from their price. You make us a reproach to our neighbors, a mockery and a derision to those around us. You make us a byword among the nations, a laughingstock among the peoples. All day long my dishonor is before me, and the shame of my face has covered me, because of the voice of him who reproaches and reviles, because of the presence of the enemy and the avenger. All this has come upon us, but we have not forgotten you, and we have not dealt falsely with your covenant. Our heart has not turned back, nor have our steps deviated from your path. Yet you have crushed us in a place of jackals, and covered us with the shadow of death. If we had forgotten the name of our God, or spread our hands to a strange God, would not God find this out? For he knows the secrets of the heart. But for your sake we are killed all day long. We are counted as sheep for the slaughter. Arouse yourself. Why do you sleep, O Lord? Awake, do not reject us forever. Why do you hide your face and forget our affliction and our oppression? For our soul is sunk down into the dust, our body cleaves to the earth. Rise up, be our help, and redeem us for the sake of your loving kindness.